So welcome again to this webinar that is about how to discover, create and publish visual stories faster with Elvis Dam and Enterprise Aurora, integrated with crowdsourcing and artificial intelligence. This is the first webinar in a series where we will cover topics that are top of mind for publishers. My name is Bastiaan Born, and with me here is my colleague Jaap van Bladeren. The webinar will take a maximum of 30 minutes of your time. And as for the agenda of today, we're going to highlight some current challenges you might recognize. And after that, we'll go over to the demo. If you have any questions during the session, please use the GoToWebinar pod on the right side of your screen. At the end of the webinar, we'll reserve some time to answer these questions. And if you want to discuss this on Twitter in the meantime, please do and use hashtag #ElvisDam. So let's get started. In publishing, there's a constant fight for attention across all readership demographics. Apart from needing to be very fast with bringing new stories, these stories need to be visually attractive as well. Why is that? Let's take a look. According to recent research done by Adweek, visually strong stories increase reader loyalty and improve the credibility of your brand. And they especially found that with the rise of platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, people are used to digesting news and information with a visual as opposed to just a lot of text. Not only do these readers seek out stories with visuals, they also continue to read those stories and finish them. And apart from that, they are more likely to trust sites that fully utilize those methods. Whenever there's a newsworthy event, oftentimes the crowd is there before the journalists and reporters are. This could happen with a celebrity sighting, a historic event, or a natural disaster. This crowd can visually capture unique moments that make a great or an important story. And as a publisher, you would like to tap into these events as quick as possible. But even though you would like to move quickly, finding the right visual from this crowd or other sources can be quite hard and a time-consuming process. There's a huge amount of sources and they are all over the place. Searching images on social media can be tough because, for example, Twitter is not really oriented on visual search. And also a lot of people usually don't describe what is to be seen on the picture with tags. So there is no easy way to find the right images for any specific event. So what did we do? We decided to combine the power of social media and artificial intelligence with Elvis Dam as a visual search tool. Let me quickly give you some background before we will go over to the demo. With the Elvis Digital Asset Management System, you now have a single place to search for all your visual content. This can be anything from archived publications, stock photos, photo shoots, and now also images from social media. Result is a single rich featured search that helps you start exploring content for a story. So now with the new Elvis Twitter integration, you can automatically and in real time import images that were posted on Twitter. And with a dedicated Twitter panel in Elvis, you can easily manage your Twitter imports based on hashtags. Secondly, all the images imported from Twitter are also auto-tagged automatically by artificial intelligence services. And this means that plain pictures with no info or metadata are now enriched and fully searchable. For a journalist or a reporter, this means that they now have a much more detailed and precise search. And very importantly so, one that can help them discover a unique story or a new angle behind a news event. We talked earlier about how acting fast is important in the battle for attention. Elvis Dam and Enterprise Aurora are tightly integrated. They are two modules of the same solution. In the demo, we'll show that after finding the right visual for your story, how easy it actually is to create, edit, and publish your story with Enterprise Aurora. So with this said, I think it's time to switch over to my colleague Jaap van Bladeren for the demo.
Yes, thank you, Bastiaan. So indeed, let's get over to the demo. So this is my my Elvis system, my digital asset management system, and I'm going to sign in. And the first thing that I'd like to show you is our Twitter panel. So we have a Twitter panel here on the right, and basically with this panel we can register new Twitter topics to watch. So I can add a topic name, and I can add some hashtags specific to that topic. And once I save it, it will start listening for, or actually it will start searching Twitter for images on that specific topic as they happen. And all these images are saved in a folder in Elvis, which is based on the topic name. I will show that later on. So what you see here below is the currently watched topics. And basically, these are some topics that we watched over the last month, and they all contain a name and one or multiple hashtags that are related to that event. So now let's dive a little bit deeper into one of these topics. There's an airplane crash that happened recently in Nepal. We searched for a few tags on that specific event. And that basically ran for about 1 or 2 days. So let me just show you here in the folder browser. We have our Twitter folder. We have all the folders that are related to our topics. And one of them is the Nepal airplane crash. So let's load that and just close this folder again. And what you see here on the bottom left is that we have around 1970 files for that specific topic. So that's quite a lot. And basically what you probably want to do is find, let's say, the newsworthy images in this selection, because with Twitter you might know that there's some interesting pictures, but there's also a lot of junk, a lot of non-related images that are in here. So you can already see that here, right, in the first results. So we're only interested in the, let's say, the good images. And artificial intelligence can help us in that, because basically what we can do with artificial intelligence is detect what's on the images. And while this process is not perfect, sometimes there are, let's say, false positives created by AI engines. It at least gives you some insight into the images, and it can be a nice source of inspiration on a story that you want to write. So let's have a look at this tag cloud now. We see several interesting things. So, for example, soldier, or maybe military uniform. In this case, let's have a look at flame. So what you see here is, well, obviously the airplane on fire and people grieving about the people that they lost, probably. So let's say I'm interested in just the aircraft itself. I want to see the aircraft in flames. So what I can do is, add another filter on aircraft, and this will only give me the images where are flames on the aircraft. So we basically narrowed down the results from 1970 images to 40. Which is quite nice, because this is an amount of images that you can just scroll through and see what images are really relevant to your story. So in this last part of my presentation, I want to show you a bit more about publishing these Twitter images in an article. This could be an article for print or for digital, like for the website or an app. In this case, I'm going to use International Women's Day as a topic. So let me clear my search here. And I will go to International Women's Day. And my goal is to write a digital story about this event. So I'll go for a bit lightweight story about women celebrating together. So togetherness looks like a good tag to filter on, and maybe laughing. I want some happy pictures here. And I could also now still drill down these results based on age of the women inside these pictures. So let's say I want between 25 and 30. Our AI services actually can detect age in in photos as well. So that's quite nice feature. So this gives me a selection of Twitter images that I can now use in my article. So now let's create that digital article. So I'm going to switch to Enterprise Aurora, and I'm here in my International Women's Day dossier. It currently consists of one article, and let's just open that article. So I just basically prepared an article which just contains the text, and now let's add some images to it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is create the images inline. So there's different ways you can add media to your article. You can create a slideshow or just add a single image. In this case, I will just create a slideshow. So here's my slideshow component, and now I can go back to Elvis, select the images that I want. So for example, these three, and just simply go to Enterprise and drag these images in. So these are now embedded into my article, and the next logical step would be adding a caption here for these images. So this is one way of embedding images into your article. Another way is not embedding the images directly, as I did here, but really embedding the tweet, which can be, for example, from a copyright perspective, more safe to do. So what we also have here is adding social media, and you can see we can use Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram here. And in this case, obviously, we are using Twitter. So let's pick one of the other images, and we have a copy tweet link button here. So I'll click that, go back to my article, paste it in, and now it will actually embed the real Twitter post into my digital article. And there it is. So to finish my story, I'm going to add a header to it, so-called hero component, and this basically uses a large image that I will just, in this case, upload from my own system, and I will just drag that in, and then create a title. A subtitle, and lastly I will add the author name. So my story is now finished, and from here on I can decide where to publish it to. So again, this can be print or an app or a website. In this case, I will choose a website. So I go to my publish menu. I choose my website target in this case, and I hit publish. So basically now everything is exported to my web CMS, and a few moments later I can actually look at the results on my website. So let's have a look. So I'm now on the website, and you can see the various articles. And here on the top left, my new article on Women's Day. And when I click on it, you see the exact same article as I created in an Enterprise. So we have this nice header with the text and the slideshow, and my embedded Twitter post. So this basically shows you end-to-end from ingesting tweets to filtering them down on the most relevant ones for your stories, and then using Enterprise Aurora to publish them to your, in this case, to your website.
Thanks a lot, Jaap, for this demo. I think we've showed some ideas that could help you discover interesting new angles for new stories, as well as helping you to publish visually attractive stories faster. At WoodWing, we're very interested in your side of the story as well. We would like to have a chat with you on what you think is important and how we could help you in being more successful. We're going to answer a few questions in just a second, but we'd also love to contact you personally to go over any questions or feedback that you might have. Alternatively, you may reach out to us on info@woodwing.com and we will get in touch with you. And lastly, in order to be compliant with the new data protection laws in Europe, we're going to send you a link that allows you to manage your subscriptions to WoodWing News. Please subscribe if you'd like to stay up to date on this and other interesting WoodWing topics.